What's up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a marvelous day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. Welcome back from the weekend. Let's get your work week started off right with some stories out of r/self-improvement. Real quick though, make sure you stick around until after the video because I've got a very special, laughable video following up on some of our kitten adventures. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Our first post is from user Yee Suckin' Teats. The day I decided to change my entire life. It was 4 months ago when I decided I am tired of living a life of mediocrity. It all started when I had asked my roommate to do the dishes because he hadn't done them in weeks and it was his turn. After I nervously asked him, he basically laughed in my face and told me he'll do them when he pleases and that I shouldn't ask him to do things. Being the cowardly person I was, I accepted that, and I also even apologized to him on top of that. I felt like such a little pansy in that moment. It bothered the heck out of me. I had basically become a doormat. I spent the entire rest of that day reflecting on how I acted towards him. I came to the conclusion that I was so sick and tired of letting people walk all over me. I realized over the years I had let myself become a soft person. I was so sick and tired of always being the beta male and never stepping into my true masculinity. I was so sick and tired of being such a mediocre human being. I was sick and tired of holding myself to such a low standard. I was sick and tired of having absolutely no direction in life. Once I made the decision I wanted to change, it was final. I spent 10 hours a day researching self-improvement and watching videos and taking notes. I spent all my expendable income on self-help books and completely dropped the video games and any other low-level behavior I had. I put my everything into self-improvement. Once I was confident in all my research and I had solidified a solid idea of what I want, I was ready to dive in headfirst and apply everything I've learned. I forced myself to put down anything that wasn't improving my life. Video games, TV, fast food, pornography, fapping, going to clubs, etc. I had a passion to change so badly that it was burning inside me like a fire. I began my self-improvement journey by creating structure in my life. I heard from a wise person that if you conquer your morning, you conquer your day. I now start every day by making my bed every morning, eating a healthy breakfast, I take the necessary vitamins every morning, I meditate every day, I work out every day, and I have found mentors and people in my life who I know can benefit me and help me. I read and listen to books on masculinity and how to embrace my inner man. These are all non-negotiables in my life. This means I have to do all these things every single day or else I have failed myself. After about a month of creating positive structures in my life, I could feel the momentum building. I could feel myself truly changing. It's a feeling I've never quite felt before. Now, 4 months into this journey, I am an entirely different man than I was when I started. I've learned to embrace my masculinity and stand up for myself when necessary. I don't let my roommate walk all over me anymore. I have had a few times where I've had to be very confrontational with him and stand up for myself, and while it was painful the first few times, it felt great. I felt a lot better about myself, and I've also applied this to my work. Anytime I have something I don't agree with or if somebody disrespects me at work, I speak my mind. I tell them how I feel and don't allow anybody to walk all over me anymore. I've now also built a much stronger body, and I respect myself more than I ever have. People in my life have noticed my change of attitude and the way I carry myself. I feel strong and confident in situations that my old self would have felt insecure. I've since quit pornography and any other low-level behavior that was leading me nowhere in life. I finally have a strong purpose. Self-improvement is the best investment anybody can do for themselves. Throughout this journey, I have learned a lot and still am learning. I'm just at the beginning of the self-improvement journey, but I'm in this for life. No more living life at 40%. I'm living at 100%. I'm giving it my all so I don't fall back into my old ways and become a low-value man once again. And I am enjoying this momentum I'm having. If you read to this point, thank you. I needed to get this story out there. I have truly changed as a person due to the self-improvement journey, and I now love and value myself more than I ever have. It's amazing how just even the smallest amount of input towards changing yourself for the better can have the most profound and deepest impact in the way you perceive yourself and the way you think others see you. Self-improvement isn't an overnight thing. It takes a lot of work, a lot of determination, a lot of patience, and no small degree of personal accountability. The fact that you've made a radical change in only 4 months is very remarkable and incredible. It speaks of a great deal of dedication and devotion to really changing who you are. Keep at it, you're doing great, you're a wonderful example for everyone else who's trying to change, and wherever you're at, I truly wish you the best. Also, real quick before I jump to the next story, did your roommate ever end up doing the dishes? Our next post is from user Writing Therapy. I'm so sick of people acting like if you don't have your ideal life by 25, you might as well give up. When I say that, I'm not even talking about 16-year-olds or even 20-year-olds thinking that 30/40 or whatever age is old. That's normal. I thought the same when I was super young. It's more the other older adults perpetuating this lie that I'm annoyed at. I'm 31 this year. Not only do I still look young, not a single line on my face, not a single gray hair on my head, but I feel like I'm just coming into being the person I was always meant to become. And heck, even if I no longer looked young, even if the wrinkles were setting in, life is a journey, and we will always be in the process of becoming. We will all die dumb. I felt too old at 21 because I wasn't 16. I felt too old at 25 because I knew I was now a full-fledged adult and thought nothing I ever did again would be considered impressive. I felt too old at 30 because my youth was officially gone. I've settled into my age, and I now know that if I'm not dead, it's not too late. At 50, I'll be looking back at my 30s knowing just what a youthful babe I was. And one thing's for sure, I won't look back with regret, wishing I would have listened to my heart and gone for it. I already wasted my 20s thinking I could no longer progress into the type of success I envisioned. I'm not going to waste another decade. If you're out there and you think you're too old to achieve your dreams, please squash that noise. Regardless of how old you are, you're alive. Your story is meant to be told. Your gifts are meant to be shared. 20 years from now, one thing you won't regret doing is trying. Oh man, I can relate to this so well. I'm not going to say quite how old I am because I want to leave at least some degree of mystery, but I have at least hit this age where you're supposed to have your ideal life. And my gosh, I have heard no shortage of it from certain people in my life about how I went to college, was married, and had 2 kids by the time I was your age. Or I was done with my PhD and working, making plenty of money to have a house and a wife and blah, 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 blah. Just all this other nonsense. Like, yeah, okay, you grew up in a different time. It's a little bit different, and you know what? Congrats to you. That's awesome you achieved that. Some people, it just takes a little longer. Colonel Sanders, his life was largely what most people would probably consider a failure up until he had retired from his crappy job and decided he was just going to start selling chicken door to door, which then eventually led to him running a global fast food empire. J.K. Rowling went through a nightmare of a life and had Harry Potter, of all things, rejected from several big-name publishers until she finally landed one that was willing to take a chance on it, and she's one of the wealthiest women in the world. Success doesn't have to come early in life. Not everyone's Mark Zuckerberg. Not everyone is going to be a tech billionaire from the right investments and everything right out of college or even in college. It just comes when it happens. Sometimes you need to spend a little time to kind of fall into the person you need to be. So, P, I think you have the exact right mindset that it's worth trying, even if it's not going to lead immediately to your success. It's still worth getting out there and saying you had the experience. Thank you so much for the post, for just opening up like this, and wherever you're at, I do wish you the best. Our next post is from user FreebirdJCD. But first, if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and feel free to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. Your life could end today. Instead of rushing, slow down and enjoy. I'm all about self-improvement, but I got into a car accident tonight. Nothing serious, no one was hurt. But it could have been the end for me. It really put things in perspective. Self-improvement means something different for everyone. Really, take the time to evaluate what you want for your life. What really matters. Cut all the bullcrap and just live your life how you want. If going to school makes you feel good about it yourself, do it. If school isn't your thing, that's okay too. Same with jobs, relationships, hobbies, etc. Don't live for anyone else. Don't live how you think you're supposed to live. Just live. If you want to work a minimum wage job and go home to your dog or cat or family every night, and that makes you happy, do it. If you want to go work 80-hour weeks and be stressed to all heck, and that makes you happy, do it. Not to sound negative, but none of it matters when you die. Be happy now, because this moment is literally all we have. Improve yourself, but don't get so caught up in it that you forget to actually slow down and enjoy life. I hope you all stay safe and enjoy the holidays, wherever you are. Cheers, friends. Well, that's quite poignant advice for today's kind of hustle and bustle, gotta be moving all the time world. And it ties in really well with the previous post. Your life doesn't have to be at a certain point right now. You gotta do what makes you happy. You have to try and do those things that are really going to pay off for your mental health in the long run. Yeah, maybe you're not going to end up retiring on a private island with a yacht in the Caribbean, but for some people who did, I mean, we just went through several months of memes where they didn't kill themselves. Although, he's an entirely different story and not an example I would advocate anyone should emulate. Yeah, we'll leave him there. But my point being, though, is OP, you are very much on the right track. You have to do things for you. You have to do things that will make you happy. That's not to say that you need to sell everything you own and go live as a hobo jumping from one train to the next. No, you still need to be responsible about your life. But with that responsibility for your life comes that responsibility to make sure that you yourself are happy and healthy. And it's an important lesson that a lot of us just need to be reminded of from time to time. Thank you so much for your post, and wherever you're at, I do wish you the best. That was r/self-improvement, and if you're looking for more inspiring stories about self-improvement or tips and suggestions on how you can change your life for the better, then go ahead and check out that playlist link in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451, and this is Zoro's Zoomies.